Good afternoon, everybody. It is July 26th, and I am in Bodega Bay. So what am I doing? Why aren't I hiking on the PCT? Well, the short version is, as you've seen through the last few videos, me making attempts to hike and the pain just being too much. So now I've seen an orthopedic doctor who specializes in feet. Dr. Casanelli is fantastic. We ruled out through x-ray the likelihood of fractures. He did say that really to know for like 100%, we would have to do an MRI, but the treatment would be exactly the same. So it would only be if I wanted like 100% knowledge. So the MRI would show any stress fractures on the bottom and the swelling that's happening in between the bones. Well, I think everybody knows that it's swelling in between the bones. That I'm still dealing with swelling issues, and he pinpointed the cause of it. So essentially, the way that I walk and the structure of my feet and legs are what causes this for me. So my arches are a little bit higher than most people, and that's basically, so it kind of cants my foot down a little bit more, and then my calves are just naturally tight. It's the way I'm built. So one thing I can do is stretch and try and lengthen all those ligaments, but that takes, of course, time, right, and consistency. Something that I'm willing to put in the work and the effort, but it's not something that's going to resolve in like a day or two. It's going to take months of repeated, continuous exercise to lengthen that. So what's the solution? So essentially he showed me how to tape my big toe so that it wraps around the big toe and then goes to the ball of my foot, and basically you overlap it so it almost looks like one of those awareness ribbons, with the tails being on the ball of my foot. A pretty simple wrap job, which I'm glad. It's not complicated. And then orthotics. So I tried. He did his best to get me in to see the guy that does the orthotics. I don't know what he's called, but the specialist. The closest I could get into, the soonest, was August 5th. So I've been contemplating, well, I pretty much known that after I'm done with the PCT and as part of my retirement, I do plan on car camping, truck camping, camping of some kind, but like not 100% tent. Like, I don't know if it's a trailer. I don't know what the end look is going to be. But I had to get out of town. I had to stop focusing on this great big huge project called the PCT, and just give myself a break from it, because not only have I been walking it for a couple months, and then trying to recuperate and get better, I had all the planning ahead of time and all that stuff. So you guys have seen it as it's progressed. I just needed a break, and I just wanted to get away. So we have a Subaru Wilderness. I threw a bunch of camping gear in the back. I tried to do it as cheaply as I could, and I laughed because I'll tell you why in a second. But basically, I'm just trying to use everything that I already exist without buying anything. The laugh is because I did want what they call a solar generator. Couple reasons. One, so I could power stuff while I'm out camping and have a good, reliable power bank that's something other than the car. And did a bunch of research. I chose the Jackery, so it's like the Jackery 2000 Pro with two 200-watt solar panels. I chose that for a lot of reasons, but it was also on sale. But still, it's still a pretty significant purchase. And the other thing I really wanted was an electric cooler. So basically a cooler refrigerator that I could plug into a power source. So I got those two things, which ended up being not an insignificant amount of money. But both of those purchases I can use whether I car camp or just in regular life. The Jackery is good, or the power solar generator is good for power outages. I can plug things in, keep our food cold, stuff like that if the power goes out for any length of time, which has happened recently to us in the last couple of years a few times. And right after I purchased this, actually, we had a fire-caused power outage that we had lost power for like 4 hours. So I'm glad I got those things, and I did outlay some cash for it. I'll keep talking in 1 second, but let me flip this around. You are getting serenaded by sea lions. That island is full of sea lions. That's what those little black dots are. That is very hard to hold steady. So I'm gonna go back out so it doesn't wobble so much. But yeah, so I'm out here. I don't know how long. I do know that I will be home by the 5th of August, but I needed to get away for my own mental health. Out of all of this, I'm not mad or upset or anything, but I would say the emotion I'm feeling is frustration. When I walk, 15 miles in one day and I can't hardly move after I'm done, and I feel what I thought was 100%, like literally I was like jumping down my stairs as I'm going down to see if I could, induce pain into the balls of my feet, and they felt good before I walked the second time. But I tell you what, about 10 o'clock rolls around and I can't hardly move. I think I mentioned it on the last attempt. I hit 20,000 steps, and I looked at it because after that, every single footstep is like somebody has like a heavy gauge needle shoving it into the ball of my foot. So I had to get this done and treated. The good news is now I just have to find the things that will allow me to continue hiking without pain that will be debilitating. There's always discomfort when you're hiking. There's always aches and pains and twinges, and I walked a lot of miles with feet that weren't 100%. But now I'm at the point where my body is not letting me hike. It's just, it hurts too much. I can't get past that level of pain, at least the 2 times that I tried. I do think the solutions exist, that I can get there, and my plan is, and so here's the future, is I am planning on resuming hiking that week of August 5th, get those orthotics, test them out, make sure that I'm not going to fail, and then go hike the Sierras and hike the Sierras home. So I'm very hopeful. I'm feeling very positive about it. I think I'm going to be able to do that. But in the meantime, here's kind of the inlet to Bodega Bay. And then the Bodega Bay is to the direction I was just walking. So in the meantime, I'm going to be car camping, and I am going to be doing some videos because I want to share with Kathy. As you remember, that's how why I started the PCT channel. So in the comment section, if you guys would please let me know if you have any interest in this. If I get enough responses, even if I get a few, I think that's really cool, because again, just like the PCT, I used YouTube to try to figure out, what I needed for supplies for car camping. I looked at different options, all kinds of things. So even, places where to go, things like that, you can find on YouTube. I choose to kind of just go explore. Turns out I just chose Bodega Bay because it was north of San Francisco, and I kind of want to head north up into the Oregon coast. So it was basically just a very fast drive here and a good starting point. And I mentioned to Kathy what I was doing, and she's like, oh yeah, we've been there before. And she's right. Like as soon as I drove in, well, I knew she was right when she said it, but as soon as I drove in, I recognized everything. So if you want to see what this little interlude is, what car camping is about, what I'm doing, let us know in the comments, and I will I'll start sharing that on YouTube with Kathy's help again, of course. And the Spud Point Crab Company. So we've eaten in the Fisherman's Cove, so I got to try something new. So I'm going to try the Spud Point Crab Company. So for those that don't know us, seafood in my family is a big deal. We eat a lot of it, a lot of fish. Sushi is weirdly enough, it's very popular in Reno. So we go to sushi quite a bit, but the whole family is really into seafood. So hence the probably unusual excitement about seafood. I promise I'm not bragging, but crab sandwich in front of the water. I'm very proud of myself because I brought iced tea from home And I have iced tea, ice, and freshly squeezed lemon. Something I cannot do on the PCT. I'm quite happy right now. So the ocean gives me as much happiness as the forests do. So I am feeling pretty happy right now.